Welcome in, everybody.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Dalton gives to Bernard. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. Artie Burns, the cornerback, brings him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Bernard. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Bernard. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So here are the Steelers backed up to start their initial drive. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now. Doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he feels pretty good about this whole deal.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. On second down, it's Bell. And this
this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Devontae Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. Boom! Still fighting through tackles. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Airing one out from Macklin, deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From midfield here, Dalton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
I know that play went for no yardage. All right, but I like the attempt because the fullback position, whether it's a fullback, a tight end, an H-back, whoever you want in that spot, not known as a primary pass catcher. So sometimes the element of surprise works in your favor, but on that play, give credit to the defensive guys.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Dalton here from the gun. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL ranked number 12 against the pass. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage, trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 20.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. It's Dobbs. And his throw is incomplete. Darqueze Dennard there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And out across midfield down to the 45. A big 30-yard play on third. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Bell, and they'll get him down right about the 20. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, here's Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on first down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Dalton throwing on second down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away. And now it's third.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Going top shelf into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Dalton now to pass. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Dalton to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he hits his man, Matthews. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. He drops it off for Bernard. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. To throw here, Dalton. And the pressure gets to him again. Javon Hargrave. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now Bell, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, as the first half is winding down, and the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, nice move. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime here, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he connects with Vance McDonald. Give him 30 yards there.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage. A pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Ben on third and long. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And Green with a catch left side. 23 yards on the play. And the Bengal fans are probably saying, where has that been?
And they have to, because everyone wants to talk about having a balanced offense. But these two, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, their connection is vital to their chances of winning.
Throwing, Dalton to the left side here for Eifert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a carry for Bernard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard, his 4th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Switzer now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Lawson, the 4th-round pick out of Auburn.
I think it's safe to say, partner, that he was one of the steals of the draft last year. A lot of injury concerns. That pushed him to the 4th round before he was selected. But 8.5 sacks in his rookie season, I think he's only going to get better.
And those sacks, 8.5, led all rookies. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. He got 29 yards that time.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Steps away. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll pitch it out to Bell. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger sliding out of the pocket. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he stopped immediately there. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, here's Bernard. Fights up the defender. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Here's Dalton. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the fourth. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Roethlisberger. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Dalton, 1st and 10. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Bud Dupree in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is brought in at the 21. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away, and they want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It was Ryan Glasgow who got him down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Easy, easy. Focus, focus.
On third down, it's Bell. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. He was looking for Macklin that time.
I do know that Joe Hayden was used to winning a lot of games at the University of Florida. And when it comes time for a big play in a big situation, he wants to be that guy, and he just pulled it off.
Yeah, he pulled it off indeed. A huge interception to help put this game on ice. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Bell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll go again with Bell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. A rope.